Hey Maplers, Coppersan here. It is time to showcase some more 5th job skills. Today we're going over all Explorer Warriors. Let's start off with a class so badass that it is regarded as one of the best classes in the entire game. The class I'm about to show you is so strong, so tanky, so blunt in its weapon of choice. Some Maplers will say this isn't the best class, but they only say that because they're afraid. Afraid of the holy powers of the Paladin. Paladins have mastery over all elements, lightning, fire, ice, even holy. Blessed by the Maple gods with impenetrable defense, one of their hyper skills even gives them invincibility. Paladins are the best class to do jump quests with, and that's a fact. Party-wise, they have a useful 5th job skill and an amazing and unique 3rd job skill that increases all skill levels by 2, allowing your 4th job skills to reach 2 levels above their max level. You think wearing a hammer is cool? How about 5 hammers floating around you? This skill is called Hammers of the Righteous. Since Paladin's rightful place is at the top of all classes, they are the pinnacle of strength. This 5th job skill charges a hammer every time you gain an elemental charge. This elemental charge can be gained by using your elemental attacks, who would have thought? The hammers will float around you and deal damage to anything they touch. And when the skill is used again, your hammers will grow in size and deal more damage. Your hammers can only grow in size for about 30 seconds, after that they use up all the big hammer energy there is, and there is a 60-second cooldown. The smaller hammers are maintained as long as you have your elemental charges. Congratulations, you mastered the art of jumping around and watching stuff die. Next up is Grand Guardian. This skill consumes 1.5% of your max HP for every second that you use it. Using this skill is basically the only time you will feel pain as a paladin because nothing else can touch you. Grand Guardian is a key down skill that summons forth a glorious cross-section of light that symbolizes your noble sacrifice for the Maple world. I'm not making this stuff up, this is the literal skill description. This skill does a ton of damage already, but after using it for a couple of seconds it will grow in size, dealing even more damage and attacking faster. It's a really nice bossing skill because, well, you can move around when using the skill, but only slowly. Oh, and to make things a little bit more OP, this skill has a 100% critical rate and ignores 100% of the enemy defense. And finally there is Divine Echo. So if you became a warrior but always thought that shadow partners are cool and secretly actually wished you were a thief, just become a paladin because they have something better than a shadow partner. They are the shadow partner. Use this skill in a party to link with a party member, and this person will duplicate all your attacks and will even get some of your buffs, like for example this invincibility buff. The buff duration is increased for every 1000 strength you have, and if there are no party members nearby, instead your final damage will increase. When bossing, you first want to get your elemental charge up to the highest level. After that you can threaten to place a debuff on the enemy. Pop your hammers and your Grand Guardian, or if you're like me and you have mercy on the enemy monster, just let go of Grand Guardian immediately out of pity, and definitely not because I messed up or anything. Paladin's main bossing skill is the 4th job skill Blast, which hits one monster 8 times and applies the effect of the last elemental skill you used. Paladins are probably the tankiest out of all Explorer Warriors, but they do require a lot of funding to get on the same level of damage as the other ones. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more content. This class is the Knight, it's vengeance. It is the Dark Knight class. This class can summon an evil eye, which periodically heals, buffs you, and can deal damage and grants a 100% counterattack chance in 4th job. Dark Knight's main attacking skill is Dark Impale and Gogner's Descent. Gogner's Descent deals a lot of damage against single target monsters, but it has a cooldown. However, this cooldown can be circumvented when using a skill called Sacrifice. This is a buff that only lasts for 30 seconds, it has a 70-second cooldown, but it increases your damage and ignores this cooldown. But wait, there is more. Gogner's Descent can also be spammed when Final Pact is active. When you die, you don't, instead you'll be revived and gain invincibility for a long ass time, I think it's 40 seconds. You'll need to attack 30 times when fighting bosses or defeat 30 monsters, and if you do this, you will live. And if you don't, you'll still die. So yeah, attack. With their 5th job advancement, Dark Knights learn Spear of Darkness, which deals a ton of damage, also has a 100% critical rate and ignores 50% of the monster defense. And this skill only has a 10-second cooldown, making it a skill that can be used often when training. 5th job also allows the Dark Knight to tap into the full power of the Evil Eye. Radiant Evil summons a huge Evil Eye that deals damage for up to 3 seconds, and this skill also has a relatively short cooldown of only 20 seconds. And finally, Calamity Cyclone, which creates a cyclone of attacks that deals damage over 12 times to 12 enemies. The Dark Knight is also healed by 1% for every attack. The skill lasts 9 seconds, and if the skill key is released, then you will also do a final attack that deals a high amount of damage. Only 10% of your max HP can be recovered though. Similar to the previous skill, all attacks have a 100% chance to deal a critical hit and ignore enemy defense as well. When bossing, we first use all our 5th job skills before popping Sacrifice so we can Gugnir descend this boss to death. Since 2 out of 3 skills have a low cooldown, you want to use them as much as possible during the boss fight. Dark Knights can utilize their low cooldown 5th job abilities during training to defeat monsters quickly and train at a decent speed, but if you ask me, their biggest strength is their ability to job change into Paladins. And finally, there are Heroes. Heroes are always mad because they aren't Paladins, which is their main reason why their main attacking skill is called Raging Blow. Actually, the entire hero class revolves around this one skill. They can boost Raging Blow with a skill called Enrage that increases the attack speed, size and damage of Raging Blow, but limits the amount of monsters it can hit to just 1. Then there is a hyper skill called Cry Valhalla, which boosts the attack speed, size and damage of Raging Blow, and then you can hit multiple monsters. For the 5th job skill, there is a skill called Burning Soul Blade, which when activated, boosts Raging Blow attack speed, size and damage. Like they all do the same thing, it's crazy. This skill can be placed down as a summon as well, attacking monsters from time to time, or just use it as is, boosting your damage and amount of monsters hit. Then there is Instinctual Combo, and you'll never believe this, but it actually boosts the damage of Raging Blow. But this skill is a little bit different. This time Raging Blow leaves a tear in space-time itself, dealing additional damage. The skill also boosts the effect of the combo orbs that are floating around you, gaining additional final damage, boss damage and attack power the more combos you have. But as a side effect, this skill decreases the chance to generate combos by 50%. And finally, there is World Weaver, which has absolutely nothing to do with Raging Blow, that's refreshing. You swing your sword once, cutting all monsters in half, dealing a huge amount of damage. Plus, you'll gain invincibility when using this skill. It only has a 20-second cooldown, so it can be used quite often. Heroes are excellent bossers, charging your combo orbs before entering a boss fight. First buff yourself with Enrage, then use Puncture to apply a debuff that increases critical damage on the monster, then use Panic to blind the bosses, then we just use Cry Valhalla, Burning Soul Blade and Instinctual Combo, and the boss will be overwhelmed by your attacks in no time. Heroes can do some mean damage. The heroes aren't the best at training fast because Raging Blow just doesn't have a lot of range when it isn't buffed up with another skill. But if you manage your cooldowns properly, training can be quite okay, but bossing wise they definitely are very strong. And that are all 5th job warriors. Many thanks to our members for making this video possible. Thanks to Quin, Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Zenny, Chen125, Zozil, Rarefum, Kroukur, ThePurpleFlurp, Pyroxius Gaming and Zyphyer Gaming. And Zyphyer Gaming, how do you say that? And Zyphyer Gaming, nice. And Zyphyer Gaming. If you'd like to be mentioned here as well and get early access to new videos, check out the join button below this video. Thanks for watching, stay safe and happy mapling!